Hello, everyone. Welcome to Appulate 12 Producer Connect Standard webinar. Thank you for joining, everyone. Today, we're going to take a look on how you can start with Appulate. You will take a look on our main workflow process and how to submit to different markets. And we will also dive deep into different markets we have in the system. So let's get started. Um, Below, you can see my name. My name is Anastasia Gumenikova. I am an agent ambassador at Appulate, and you can reach out to me using two of these email addresses that you can see on the screen. And for technical related questions, feel free to use our support email that is listed below. And the first thing we are going to start with is the main Appulate page. So you will need to use this link to get redirected to the needed page. So let's do that together. So once you are on our main landing page, you will need to start with the button login in the upper right-hand corner here. And if you are a brand new in the system and you don't have an account with us, you can sign up using the button below here. And if you previously used the system, feel free to use two of these lines to log into your Applet account. Another useful button here is forgot password. Just in case you forgot your password, you can click on it and then the system will send you a reset password email on your mailbox. Once you log in, you will be redirected to the main landing page. If you are a brand new, you will see a blank page just like I have it in my screen. And if you previously worked with the system, your insurance records will be displayed below here. In Appulate, we have two main means on how you can create an insurance record. One of them is you can create them manually by clicking the button Create New Insurance in the upper right-hand corner here. And another faster method is when you use our special tool that bridges the data that you have in your Accord form right in the system. And for this, you need to install this tool on your computer. You can find this tool under the Tools button on the main toolbar, and this is the third section that is called Appulate Uplink. You click here, and then you just follow the buttons that you have on that page. Simply click the Load Uplink driver for Windows, for Mac. If you're looking for specific instructions, they are listed below. So once you have this tool installed on your computer, you can take your Accord form and bridge all the data that you have there right in the system. So let me demonstrate you the way it works. I have my Accord form that is opened in my regular reader, like I have it here. This Accord form is for workers' compensation. So as I've mentioned, since I already have my Appulate Uplink installed on my computer, I can simply try to print this form. And instead of the regular printer that you may have here within this line, you need to select Appulate Uplink. I also recommend checking paper size details. They should be compatible with US letter. And then if everything is okay, I just click print. Then the system asks me to provide my credentials in a separate pop-up window. So I'm good here and I just click send. Now it takes a few seconds to open a separate browser tab. And we got redirected to the separate browser tab here. You can see that our business line workers' compensation has been identified automatically. This is workers' compensation, but if you work with generic specific business lines, you can specify them within this drop down here and select the needed one. We're good with workers' compensation in this example, so I just click continue. Then you will have the Appulate option. Simply click send. And now the system created quote request for you. And you can see that the insurance name that we had in our Accord form is listed in the upper left-hand corner here. WC stands for workers' compensation. This is our business line. Calendar icon with dates. These are effective and expiration dates. You can change these dates by clicking this calendar icon. Let's do it together very quickly. And what else is great here is once you change the effective date, the expiration dates changes automatically. So we are good here. And now let's check our insured information. So for this, we click the insured name in the upper left-hand corner here, and then we get redirected to the insured profile page. In the left column, within this gray box, you can see all insured details. This is the information that was breached from my Accord form. I can edit this information by clicking this pencil icon. Um, and to the right of it, we can see our quote. This particular quote is for workers' compensation. If I want to have another quote that will be associated with the same insured, I can create it manually by clicking this Request New Quote button, or I can use another Accord form and also bridge it the same way to the system. Another quote request with a different business line will be displayed below here. When you're ready to move on to your core request, simply click this gray box in the middle, and then you will be redirected back. Then we have three main tabs here, but I'd like to focus on attention to the first tab that we have here that is called Insured. Let's go here, and this is the main questionnaire page that you have in your Accord form. So as you can see, some fields are filled in here. This is everything what I had in my Accord form. I can work with this data. I can make some changes if it's needed. But what is great is that we can take some questions and send it over to the insured so they could specify this information for us. We have this great button that is called Ask Insured. Simply click on it, and then you will be redirected to the page where you need to specify recipient details. So in this case, it's surname. Let's do it together. And email address. This is my insured email address. Um, and when I'm ready with it, I just move on to the section with questions. By default, all sections in this questionnaire are selected, but I can specify only specific questions that I need to send to my client. So for example, let's take these three questions. And when the email will be sent, your insured receives this link that will contain this page, and they can provide you with the needed questions within this page, and all this information will be automatically saved on your within your Appulate account. So something that can save you a bunch of time, the option that is called Ask Insured. So now, when we completed everything with our questionnaire and we're ready to move on to quote request itself and start working with markets, click on the quote request button. Then you will be redirected to this page where you need to select markets you'd like to submit to. So once you click this button, the system opens this pop-up, and here we have two main sections. The first section, these are your favorite markets, my markets that your agency work with. And below you can see open brokerage markets. Open brokerage markets, these are our partners. You can use these markets if you want to get a quote. So you don't need to be appointed with them if you only want to get a quote. However, if you'd like to bind with them, you still need a direct appointment. In this example, I will take one market to show you the way our submissions work. And before we will move on here, I'd like to focus your attention on the different types, styles of submissions that we have in the system. Under the button Help, you can find the page that is called Submission Metrics. Let's go here and check the list of markets and types of submissions that are available. So within this page, you can see the left column. This is the list of all markets that we have in the system. So you can check specific markets within the search line Um, and line above, these are abbreviations of different business lines. And you can also notice different icons. So let me elaborate on what do they mean. If you see that market is marked with this orange clover icon, it means that this is an open brokerage market that don't require a direct appointment if you only want to get a quote. And we have another green clover icon that is called Appulate style of submission. These markets are also partners with us, and they use Appulate as their own system. So in this case, you may receive your response right in the system, depending on the underwriter's preferences. And if you see the green clover icon plus this lightning bolt, it means that this is an instant style of submission. With this style of submission, you get immediate result upon your quote request, whether it is approved or declined. You will see it immediately in the system. And another type of submission that we have in the system is called web link. With this style of submission, you get redirected to the carrier's website, and all your data that you have in your Appulate account can be filled in automatically. However, we have different levels of access. So if you see one box next to the globe icon, it means that only your login details with this carrier will be breached. If you see two boxes next to the globe icon, it means that your login details plus general information about the agent will be filled in automatically for you. Three boxes means that all your Accord form information will be redirected to the carrier's website. And some markets can provide you with a comprehensive service, which means that they may accept market default questions and market default forms. However, I'd like to mention that this type of submission is available for our premium customers. So if you feel that it's something that might be interesting for you, let us know, and we will be happy to connect you with our sales representatives. So let's move on and go back to our quote request and take a look on how you can work with the instant style of submission. So in order to start your submission, you need to click the Start Quote button, and then you get redirected to the page with the market-specific questionnaire. Red numbers within the sections above identify required questions. Within the questionnaire, they will be marked with red asterisks, just like I have it in payroll and rating section. We can limit this list by clicking the Show Required Questions only. And let's fill in this questionnaire together to see the way the system works. So once all questions completed, you will no see any red numbers or red asterisks in your questionnaire. Simply click this request quote, and now the system takes a few seconds to send your result over to the carrier's server and generate a quote for you. So let's give the system a few seconds, and voila, that's your result. You can see that the status has changed to quote prepared, and we have the quote itself right below the market's name. We can download it by clicking on it, and let's do that together to check the quote itself. So with this specific market, this quote will look this way, but of course it may vary depending on the market you work with. So when you completed your quote request and you had your quote, and let's imagine that you have several quotes with the different markets, and not only one like we have it in this example. You may want to share this quote with your insured. And instead of sharing one quote by one, sending lots of different emails, you can go to this compare quotes page and select all questions that you, excuse me, quotes that you have in your quote request by clicking the select all button. And then you will receive this share with insured button. And you generate an email that will be sent to your insured with the link attached. So when your insured clicks the link, they get redirected to the page that will look like this. Let's give a few seconds. So this page will contain basic information about your quote with the quote itself attached. So let's imagine if we have three quotes here, yeah? You will have three different columns in this example. So you send like a menu list to your quote to your insured, so they could choose the best quote which will work for them better. So that's regarding the quote request. And another great thing I also wanted to show you is when you are ready to bind with the market. Let's go back to quote request. You can click this three-dot menu button to the right of the market's name and select the option bind within this list. I don't have this bind option here just because I work with test markets, but if you have a direct appointment with these markets, you will have it here. So I will mark it as bound, and then I do that again. And then the system generates a policy page for me with all information listed here. We can see summary box also contains the information. We can edit this information if it's needed by clicking this pencil icon. And what is great within this pop-up is that you can scroll a little bit down, and here you have an option to set a renewal or automatic remarketing. So imagine in the next year you decided to work with the same client and you have the same information, but you don't want to rekey it. So you can save some time for you in future and click this automatic remarketing button, and the system will do everything for you. So something that saves you some time in future. And once you have your policy, you may want to create a certificate of insurance. This is the option that is also available for you in Appulate. So we have this create certificate button in the upper right hand corner. You can click on it and then specify the holder information. So let's do that together. And once it is here, you just move on to the policies, select your policy, and then move on to the questions section. So within this page, you may have all questions completed if you had them completed within your Accord form, like I have it within the insurance mailing address. Yeah, and the only information that you need to fill in here manually is the certificates number, just because we generated manually. So once it is completed, we just simply click complete and it is prepared. So the last step we can do here is just click sign and sign it electronically. But yeah, this option is something that is available for our premium customers. So if you think that it might help you in your main routine, feel free to reach out to us and let us know. And we will be happy to connect you with our sales representatives. So this is the main workflow on how you can get started with Appulate, how you can start working with markets. And I will open the questionnaire section to address your questions. All right, I don't see any questions so far. So feel free to type your questions if you have them in the question section. All right, I don't see any questions so far. While we are here, I think I have something else to show you before you can start working with your submissions. One important thing that you would like to set up before you will get started is the list of markets that you'd like to see upon your core request, upon your submission. So you can set up this list of markets in advance. We have this, and if you have admin role in your account, and if you manage your Appulate account, you can click this button that is called Markets and go to the selected page. So within this page, you can see all markets that we have in the system. And if you are looking for a specific market, you can use this search line. For example, let's search for mTrust. And once you are ready to work with this market, you can simply click this button, this plus button, to add it into your favorite list here. So once you edit it here, it disappears from the main available list, but goes to your selected page. Selected page is the page like a bookmark list, yeah, list of your favorite markets that you'd like to see in the first step once you are ready to submit to them. So you can work with this list to manage markets you'd like to see upon your submissions, upon your call request, excuse me. And since we are covering basic steps here, you may also be interested in our Help Center portal. And if you will use this Help button, you can find this Help Center button that will redirect you to our Help Center. Let me show you very quickly. And within this page, you can find lots of useful articles. You can find a Get Started guides with some general information on how you can start with the Appulate. Yeah, and again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them so I could. Oh, and I can see one question from Liz. What does it mean when under available markets it has testing after the name? Yeah, good question. So if you see the markets, let me go back there. If you see the markets with this testing icon there, it means that these are our internal markets um, we use to create a mapping with their carrier's website. So you need to focus only on the markets that have their names itself there. So you don't need to add testing ones, but use only the ones which have general name. Good question. Yeah. Maybe any other questions? Yeah. Another question from Laurie. You need to be approved prior by each market. Um, So if you are referring to appointments, if you want to bind with this market, you need to have a direct appointment with them. And this is what you do through the carrier's portal directly. Yeah, we don't provide with an appointment through Appulate, but we just help you to meet your carrier in the system. So, Laurie, I hope I was able to address your question. Please let me know if it's not what you were. All right, great. Thank you. Yeah. All right, everyone. Don't hesitate to ask any other questions. We still have some time. Okay, I don't see any questions so far. Let me show you my contact details one more time in case you will have any platform related questions. Feel free to use one of these two email addresses to reach out to me directly. And if you are experiencing any technical questions, feel free to use the email address that we have below, support@appulate.com. And let's give another minute for other attendees to ask their questions, and I think then we can wrap up. All right, everyone. I don't see any other questions. Um, I think we can wrap up. Thank you, everyone, for joining our webinar today. Within the next day, you will receive recording of our today's webinar. Yeah, and feel free to reach out to us if you have any other questions. We will be happy to assist. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of the day. Goodbye, everyone.